To start off, I use a flat angle brush, brown cream eyeliner, and then I start at the bottom of my brow and I start lining the shape that I would like. I want to do the darkest color in the middle to the end of the brow, and so I started with the about a third way back and I pulled the line to the shape I wanted to start. I don't do the tail yet. Then without adding any more liner, I go to the top of the brow and I start shaping out the top of the line, kind of curving down to create the tail. Now depending on your eye shape is how you're going to pull your brow. So some people may need a little bit straighter. I go a little bit higher to give a higher arch, and then without adding any more cream or liner or brow gel or whatever you plan on using, I fill in the middle and then I pull out the tail. And the tail, the trick with the tail that I found is if you pull and pull down, so you pull back and then curve down without lifting the brush, it gives you a more natural angle. Now we're doing the other side, same thing, just carving out my shape that I want right now. The bottom line should be darker, the tail should be darker, and then the top and closer to your nose should be a lot lighter. And this gives a more gradient effect. Every once in a while I'll check to make sure that we're lined up. Right now I'm looking at it and I'll line my brush as if I was going to connect the two. Not that I'm going to because I don't want a unibrow, but I line them as if I was going to connect them so that we don't have any problems with one being higher than the other, one being lower, one being thicker, and it just gives me the idea or illusion that we have sister brows. We're just filling in the inside now. And you go as dark or as light as you like. What you're going to end up doing once you're done is using a concealer to lighten up any areas that are too dark. So right now we're just touching up, going through, making sure I have the shape I want. If you notice, we're a little dark in the middle. So I've grabbed concealer and I'm using a different angle brush, which is clean. You can use the same one, just wipe off the brown off of it if you like. And now I'm just cleaning up any mistakes I may have made with the eyeliner. The idea with the concealer is draw the line, pull down so that it blends well. You don't want it to blend, or not blend, but you don't want any harsh lines of concealer because then you just look really like ashy and it's not a nice look. I've caught myself in the sunlight a few times and ew. So right now we're just kind of cleaning it up. We're going to go to the top, same thing. And any mistakes or if the shape's not what you like, you can clean it up with the concealer. So when you're doing it with the brow liner or gel or whatever you're doing it with, you don't have to worry about it. So we're just cleaning it up. Don't forget to blend, blend, blend. Pull away. After you're done with this, you'll add shadow. So we're going to do the other side. Same thing. Any lines that don't look even, smudged down, smeared for whatever reason, too harsh, you want it thinner, you clean up with this. Now if you notice, I dragged my concealer out further, and that's to make sure that my lines or my eyebrows are even. And by connecting the concealer, it forces them to be along the same lines. Cleaning up the tail, sharpening the edges, and this is a really good trick if you have hair that you haven't plucked, waxed, or had threaded. This covers it really well, especially if you have a really good concealer. The one I'm using right now is the NYX All Day Coverage, I think it is. It's in a pot. Now this is where we create a gradient. I add concealer in like a ball of, what is it, a ball of product at the tip of it, and I start pulling backwards, and this causes it to blend with the shadow that I created, giving it a gradient look. So this is what I was saying, if you go too dark, you can fade it out. And then as you do it, and it's still not as light as you like, you just add a little bit more product and pull back. And your eyebrows should go to alongside of your nose. They shouldn't be pulled in too far because you start getting a unibrow look. So the way I correct that is by adding more concealer and pulling backwards, so it looks more natural. It's just not a harsh cut off line. And then any things that I want to clean up, I'll use my hands, use brushes, use whatever. Sometimes the concealer brush will pick up product as you're fading it out, the eyeliner, so it gets a little dark. So make sure you wipe it here and there, just to make sure you haven't picked up any brown product that you're going to smear along your face when you're trying to clean this up. And that's that.